During the lockdowns of COVID, at the heart of it, I graduated from college. I had just like some money to my name because I was working on campus as a tutor. And I just had enough money to my name and no guarantee. I was on a student visa. I had applied for like OPT and I was waiting to hear back from them. And for a long time, I didn't hear anything, and I was wondering, oh my goodness, am I gonna get something? Am I gonna get the visa? And am I gonna get the job to accompany the visa? I was saying, Lord, no, there's no way you brought me here and put me in this country for all these years just for me to go back home. There's no way. That's too much of an investment for me to do all that just to go back home. No, I said, there's no way. So I prayed and I said, Lord, what's your plan for me? What is it that you have for me to do here? I started confessing that I was an employee of a certain company. And, and this is the point where I had already been applying to many jobs and I got so many no's. I got so many, well, you can come back in a few years after you've gotten some experience and we'll gladly consider you. And I was just like, okay, but I need the job to get the experience. So I'm like, somebody has to let me in. We had a group chat for young professionals and someone had posted an email saying that those of you who are looking for a job at this particular firm, kindly send in your resumes because they're taking in applicants. So I said, wow, look at an opportunity. So I sent mine immediately. I sent everything. People were telling me that, oh, the only way you can work for such firms is if you know somebody in the firm. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have an internship. It was just me just going with pure faith. They started screening people. We were basically doing a pre-recording for them to kind of see how you would answer that question. I didn't have any experience to talk on, just my few internships that I did for college credit. After talking to this person, they were like, wow, you did really well. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the future. So I thought that was really helpful. That was my affirmation that, oh, okay, I was doing well. So now after that went through, weeks went by and I didn't hear anything back. I was like, okay, I'm not hearing anything. I was like, should I send a follow-up email? That Friday at around 5 p.m., I got a call and they were like, oh yeah, is this Malu Lincoln? And I was like, yes. They're like, oh, hi, yeah. They were just calling because they wanted to congratulate me because I had been accepted to work at the firm. And I was like, wait, is this a joke? I actually remember asking her, I was like, are you being serious? Are you really did I really get accepted? And they're like, yes, you've been accepted to work at the firm. And mind you, it's a big firm. And I was so blown away. It made me so happy because I was just like, wow, God is really hearing me. God is really hearing me. With God, all things are possible. As long as it's in line with His word, as long as it's in line with His will for your life, everything is possible. We want to invite you to Total Experience New York so you can hear more stories like mine. You can see people face to face who've actually gone through life experiences. So if you're anyone, looking for a transformation, if you are looking to meet new people, people with, common goals, people who basically, you want to be able to relate to because maybe you feel like you can't relate to anybody in your home. You can't, you almost feel like there's no way out in this cycle of life, or you almost feel like the pressures of life are too much. I invite you to come to TXP, Total Experience New York 2.0. This is our second one on October 11th, Saturday at 2 p.m. at Hunter College in the Assembly Hall. Come and see what God has done for people like me in their lives. Maybe you didn't have a job. And it's one word that you'll hear that can transform your entire life. And maybe you'll get that dream job that you want.